Lilith, the end of all flesh, Gamaliel, the obscene one, Samael, the poison of God, Doth, the hidden knowledge, Taumiel, the twin contending forces.
What's up, you guys? My name is O'Shea Johnson. I am a spiritual advisor, as well as a psychic, a medium, channeler, and as well entrepreneurial leader. So let's just get into the video. Again, what's up, you guys? My name is O'Shea. So today I wish to propose to you guys, to you, the viewer, this concept. It is something that I have channeled, that I have uncovered myself, and it is what is known as a cosmic elite. So this is going to be a video to just make you aware of the concept, help you to better understand. And in that same process, I'm also going to be giving you little tidbits on what a cosmic elite is, the qualities in which they possess, and just the kind of the skills and the abilities in which they possess. So I will start by presencing, okay, what is a cosmic elite? A cosmic elite, in my opinion, there is an old paradigm of what an elite is. Within this old paradigm, it is, you could say, the Aeon of Set before the Aeon of Horus. So what was the Aeon of Set? This is where we have the elites such as, the old banking systems, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, George Soros, people of this nature. The old elite was more of a construct, a matrix, a grid of power and control. So that's where we get these older elites, where it was deemed by the source to be created, where there'd be a certain matrix of control to instill certain values within the populace to keep them suppressed, so to speak, except for those that were the 1% that would then rise to the top if this is something that they were meant to do. Now, if we look at this, people that are kind of old elite but yet new elite, or what I call cosmic elite, because in a sense that's what the cosmic elite is. It's this new elite structure deemed by source. I'll get into that in a minute. We could look at some people that are transitioning from this old elite paradigm into the new elite paradigm. And as I'm saying this, there's so much going on around me, so much noise, so much chaos, so to speak. So someone that is transitioning this old paradigm into the new paradigm would be someone like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, even the creator of Apple, Steve Jobs. So these are people that are in the transition phase. The old paradigm, the Aeon of Set, again, was more of the Rothschilds ruling elite system, where certain individuals were deemed to be the ones that were in these seats or these thrones of power. They would act as a monarch, so to speak. So that's the old paradigm, the Aeon of Set. As we shift and enter into the Aeon of Horus, the Aeon of Illumination, the Aeon of Enlightenment, there's going to be a cosmic restoration or a rebalancing, so to speak. This is where the source has divinely sent certain individuals to correct this old matrix and create a new matrix within the collect consciousness to instill within us this new paradigm, so to speak, the Aeon of Horus. In a very similar way, this is actually what Aleister Crowley, a famous magician, pioneered and channeled through Thelema. It is through the Thelema current. This is where Crowley was talking to Aiwass, which is an emanation of his daemon, in order to bring about this new Aeon. He was the pioneer, or he was a prophet of Thelema, so to speak. Now, I will presence what is a cosmic elite through my own personal journey. So for those of you that are coming from my old channel, Occult Cat TV, or even you guys that are new, for myself, I'm someone that has walked the Kabbalistic tree. I've walked the tree of life, and I've walked the tree of death. Within the tree of life, we are ascending up the spheres of the tree, And if anyone is new to this information, I highly recommend that, one, go look at my old channel, and two, start to research this knowledge, because there's a reason that this video came across your feed. You're not seeing this for, this isn't just, you didn't just come across this video. It was divinely given to you. It was divinely sent. It is a synchronicity, so to speak. You know, what is a synchronicity? This is when things aren't just chance or random, that this video is a synchronicity because it came across your feed for a reason. Most likely, or you probably are, a cosmic elite of sorts, so to speak. A cosmic elite, I'll define the concept of a cosmic elite, and then I'll go into my journey. A cosmic elite is someone that is divinely sent by the source to correct the old elite matrix. So it's people like us that are actually meant to, we started from nothing. Maybe we started from poverty. Maybe we weren't the brightest, but our soul plan is that we were meant to be great individuals, bringing about change and a revolution of consciousness, so to speak. So my journey is, I'm someone that has traveled the Kabbalistic tree, the tree of life and the tree of death. In the tree of life, we are going about the attainment of more of an angelic frequency, an angelic transmutation. So you're learning how to give energy. You're more working with celestial beings such as angels or the Neteru, the Egyptian pantheon, and you're gaining their traits and their qualities. You're learning things such as Reiki, how to give energy, how to heal people, and understanding what the celestial nature of reality is. This is where like a lot of love and lighters come into play, where they're talking about more of the egoic concepts or the external or love and light, so to speak, not realizing that there is duality to this realm, that someone that is only walking the tree of life isn't actually seeing truth, so to speak. They're not seeing reality as a whole. They're more like someone that is, as Plato spoke on in his allegory of the cave, there's someone that is actually only seeing the shadows projected on the wall. Definitely recommend looking into Plato's allegory. It's a very good philosophical representation of people that are stuck in the light, only seeing the illusions, the shadows projected on the wall. Those that are stuck in the conscious mind, because the conscious mind it only makes up about 2% of our reality. Yet when you start to understand, you start to dive into yourself, you start to understand and know yourself. A part of this journey is the integration of the shadow. One must know their shadow, the repressed aspects of themselves and their psyche that they might not be looking at or they might not be dealing with, in order to truly understand and know themselves. It's within your shadow is all the power. It's within your shadow is all the undealt trauma in which an individual might not want to look at. So as we enter from the Sephiroth into the Qliphoth, so we're working with angels, celestial beings, Hermes, Thoth, Horus, and then we're going into the Qliphoth where we're more looking at our shadow. It's the tree of death. The Sephiroth is the tree of life, the Qliphoth is the tree of death. This is where we're working more with demons and as well goetic beings. We're working with the gatekeepers, so to speak, and this is where we start to embrace shadow integration. We start to work with our traumas, and the things that we were not dealing with actually get brought up to the forefront, brought to the surface of our mind, where we actually have to face our fears. We have to embrace suffering as a means and a cause of change. As the Buddha said, life is suffering, but yet it's how you deal with this suffering which determines who you are and whether you will integrate your power, whether you will become a powerful being. which is a heavy part of becoming a cosmic elite. A cosmic elite is not someone that just only dabbles in the light realm and becomes a love and lighter, so to speak, but there's someone that unifies themselves by working with the light and working with the darkness, integrating the darkness to become a balanced being, so to speak. And this is actually where we're getting into the structure of what it is to be an elite, and in a sense what it is to be illuminated, Illuminati, science. Now, the more that you start to go into the Qliphoth, you start to realize these aspects of reality that were originally you couldn't perceive because you hadn't attained that level of illumination or that level of awareness. This is why the more that you work with your shadow, you actually start to illuminate your life. You start to illuminate your reality, because it's within the shadow, it's within looking at all the things that you didn't want to, that you actually then start to integrate yourself and you start to become whole. Now, in the Sephiroth, we're becoming angelic, more of an angel-like frequency, and then in the Qliphoth, we are becoming and embracing our daemon, our inner soul and our inner guide, where we are also unlocking the daemon within. We're also taking on vampiric transmutations, so we start to learn how to pull energy from reality, pull energy from people, from beings. We're no longer working with beings externally where we're talking to them and sending them out to do things, but now we're invoking these spirits, and we start to actually embody their nature and their characteristics, allowing us to evolve and become a greater version of ourselves amidst the process and as well the journey. And because that's what it is. It's not something where you just do ritual one time, but it's as you continue to walk the trees of life and of death, you start to integrate all of these energies, which then reflects who you are, and you start to become whole. Now, it's in this same process that you start to unravel and uncover, or rather awaken, your destiny within. Everyone's destiny is going to be different depending on who you are. We all have our own personal destiny, and that's why my path might not be the same as yours, but by walking these trees, you start to integrate them, and you start to uncover and know your truth to a deeper extent. So this is where we're getting into that of the true will. What is the true will? The true will, it's, as Plato talked about, the grand design. There's a grand design to all things, and this is where we start to find our puzzle piece, where we fit into this reality, that what you are meant to do is not the same as what everyone else is meant to do. Some of you are writers, actors, painters, artists, creators, and what you start to do is you merely start to walk your path. So as a writer, you just start to write, you start to journal, you start to uncover more and more of yourself. And the more that you figure out, the more that you find out, you start to integrate. It's just like when people write stories, they might not realize it at the time, but whatever the story might be is a complex hyper sigil that is actually empowering your reality. I like to look at anime in this sense. If any of you have seen Solo Leveling, or Akame ga Kill, or Naruto, or Bleach, it's always this main character that has an ability, and they start to evolve throughout the journey. They start to progress. Tokyo Ghoul is a really good one. That's actually one that really defines pretty much the vampiric journey. That's one that defines the Qliphothic journey. It's a normal initiate, it's a normal person that then goes about this evolutionary trait where he starts to become a ghoul, so to speak. In this sense, it's a vampire. And as he starts to walk this path, he starts to uncover a more primal nature. He even realizes he's not able to control it, and that with a lot of people going through the Qliphoth, they get lost in the sauce. They actually don't understand the truth of why they're walking the path. A lot of people go in there and they get lost. They get lost with wanting money, or they get lost with these humanistic urges and these needs. They look at beings such as Asmodeus, and they see them as just ways to attain lust, ways to attain women, or ways to attain money, and they have all these egoic pursuits, not realizing that at some point they will need to integrate their truth. They will need to become their most authentic version. That, magic and working with these energies, it's play and creation, yes, but in that same way, it's also, you're evolving. You're taking on essences and energies that will, if you're not careful, that they can drive you into madness, and it can even lead to death. And that's why a lot of people don't understand. It's like, well, if it could do those things, why would I go about that path? And the reason why you would go about that path is because you're seeking the truth. You're seeking to evolve and get to that next level. And what this is going to take is, it's going to take sacrifice. It's going to take you giving up the things that no longer serve you, and even walking a path of loneliness, a solo journey. Because at the end of the day, we are all born, live, and die alone. So it's what you choose to do that will lead to your either fulfillment of your true will and your magnum opus, the fulfillment of your destiny, or the lack of it. And this is why, when you're walking this path, friends fall away, people change, you start to move to new areas. Maybe you start to lose this sense of self because you're no longer who you were. You're now evolving and becoming a greater version of yourself and who you're meant to be. So naturally, these older energies are gonna fall away, and all of this is going to lead up to what's known as the crossing of the abyss. This is where an individual fully loses their sense of self, who they thought they were, and all these things in which they attained for egoic purposes. Is the whole point of the crossing is to dissolve your ego, is to uncover what's known as the daemon, or the guiding spirit within yourself, and then to integrate your truths and then continue moving forward along the journey. People that didn't cross the abyss were people such as Aleister Crowley, that he got to the edge of the abyss and he built an empire for himself. And that's what a lot of people do, is they get to the abyss, they get to the edge of the abyss, and they gain an ego, a spiritual ego so huge that they won't accept that they're not as far as they truly are. I'm sure a lot of you guys have actually seen in this realm, or on YouTube, Witch Talk, social media, that people will claim to have crossed the abyss or be way further than they are, and then they get this huge ego, they build a community, pretty much just a cult, and then they siphon off them. And there's not that many people who actually have crossed the abyss. And the thing is, not everyone that crosses the abyss will survive. Some people die, some people go insane. It is a very harsh path to walk, and it awakens so many truths that make it so worthy to actually go about this and be willing to sacrifice your old self and who you were to step into this more true and authentic version of yourself and attain power. Because ultimately, that's what this path is for. It's to attain a certain level of power and become a greater version of yourself. And that's once the initiate has gone through the journey of the Qliphoth, gotten to the abyss, crossed it, and then has gotten to Thamael. This is a crowned initiate, one who has finished the journey. For myself, this is the path in which I've walked, and now I serve as a guide or a gatekeeper, an intermediary between realms, helping other initiates to understand and know the path. And this is why I teach these things. I teach business and entrepreneurship, I teach spirituality, but now, right, I teach people how to change their lives and become greater versions of themselves. But this tree is a much needed path of initiation and a process in which one needs to undergo if they truly wish to become their most authentic version and become a cosmic elite. This is the same system that the old elites had to navigate and go through, and now it is our time. The cosmic elites, those who have been deemed worthy by Source, have been sent by Source to now change this matrix. And this is why, for those of you that were led to this video, you are now evolving and becoming a greater version of yourself and stepping into a higher awareness. And with great power comes great responsibility. So with this, there's something that is needed that you must do, and that is to follow your destiny, to embrace your true will, to integrate the daemon within, the greater version of yourself, and then fulfill your magnum opus. And this is the whole point to the journey, is to fulfill the magnum opus. What are you leaving behind to this world? What is your great work? We can look at someone like Da Vinci, an inventor, a painter, someone who is fully in the awareness of his daemon, of his creator, of his genius, and he expressed his genius in his paintings and his creations. And it's in the same way that's what he left to this world. So many people travel the world just to see the Mona Lisa. That was a part and an aspect of his great work. Now with that, I ask, what is your magnum opus? Who are you meant to become? What are you meant to achieve? And with that is what will define who you are as the cosmic elite as you start to awaken them within. So with that, you guys, that's going to be the video. My name is O'Shea Johnson. I'm a spiritual advisor, as well as channeler, medium, entrepreneurial leader. And this has been a video on what a cosmic elite is, just to give you guys a foundation as we move forward. To sum it all up, it's pretty much an initiate that has walked the tree, the Kabbalistic tree, the tree of life and tree of death, that has made it to the top and has completed the initiatory system and the initiatory journey. Now, if this is something that interests you, whether you are initiated or you're not, I definitely recommend to book a consultation with myself. I can help you better understand these trees. I can help you to better understand your destiny and create the life in which you desire. Feel free to do that by just messaging me on Instagram, Occult Cat TV, or O'Shea K Johnson. All that stuff's going to be down below. And with that, you guys, like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Let me know what you learned from the video. I really enjoy hearing feedback from you guys, and I'm wishing you guys a wonderful and amazing day. And with that, you guys, achieve greatness. Achieve greatness, my friends. Peace. I'm out.